Good morning, fellow traders. It is Black Coffee Trader. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, the 23rd of June. And taking a look at this market this morning, I think you could summarize it. In my opinion, I could summarize it in a couple of words. One sentence would be looking for highs of days from Friday or lows of days from Friday. That's pretty much it. If you look at the NASDAQ, really looking at not really looking to trade anything within that range. I do have some levels charted here. I may potentially take trades if a very clean and clear setup occurs. We did have a beautiful break and retest here in this morning, right around 6 o'clock, rejecting off of this 21,933, which is really the overnight high right now. And that's a pretty clean rejection of this previous level. If that is any indication to how this day might go, we definitely could see a bearish trend. We're definitely on a bearish trend on the markets. If you look at the NASDAQ, which is kind of continually selling off over the last week, and that phenomenon occurs across the ES, also on the Dow Jones, pretty heavy actually, and on the Russell as well. The Russell is a little bit more flat than what the other ones are, but Dow Jones definitely pretty heavy bearish move right now. And you've got these several moving indicators or moving averages sitting above price this morning, which we'll get to that in a minute. Let me just not get ahead of myself. So again, obviously with the war in the Middle East and the United States striking Iran, I believe yesterday, Sunday, or maybe it was Saturday night, I don't recall exactly for sure, but in any case, getting involved there definitely created a lot of high volatility and some big moves in the overnight session as the market opened last night. Had a big wick to the downside, we've pushed back up, and now we're selling that back off again. And that is just definitely the way this market has really been trending, and really this entire month. It's just been crappy in my opinion. So today's no different. I think for me, the game plan that I have is really to pay a lot of attention to the Friday low and to the Friday high. The purple line on my charts is the previous high of day. The blue line on my charts is the previous low of day. Those are the two areas I really want to pay attention to. On the NASDAQ, we also have the daily 20, this purple dotted line sitting here right above price as we speak this morning here at about 7:20 a.m. That daily 20 is also sitting at a very critical level that I've had charted here around the 821,865s. So if you do get a pullback to these levels or a pushback up to these levels, that could be a good break and retest short as this market opens today. Again, we just have to see. I'm not interested, honestly, in taking too many trades unless I really get a clean and clear setup. One of the things on the NASDAQ, especially, it has not been clean and clear. In other words, if you get a move to a certain level, the way I traded with the break and retest, if I get a move to a level, expect moves through the level. Like, it won't hold cleanly and reject. If you go to this chart right here, like look at this rejection this morning in the this was around 4 o'clock this morning, but this was a clean rejection, even though it was not clean on the 932 level. So it's if you're getting involved in this and on the break and retest, for example, like right here, we had a nice one here. But if you would get involved in this stuff, you have to give yourself some wiggle room. You can't just have your stop right here. And I oftentimes do that. I oftentimes keep my stop pretty tight. And I think if I'm taking trades today and really kind of looking back over the last couple of weeks, is something I probably should improve a little bit, is give myself a little bit of bandwidth. And sometimes you're just going to be wrong, but being careful on these setups. But again, the daily 20 sitting above price, that is definitely bearish. I want to respect that. If we get a pullback to that, could set up a beautiful short. Anything below the low of day from Friday, coming off a couple of these key levels, key points up here on the 763 is really where that's sitting at, which is, it's got some reactions here previously, so that could be a good short opportunity as well. And then you have a couple levels sitting here below. So again, it looks bearish right now. This market could totally change, and we could have a complete ripper and actually move out of this channel. I would really love to see price get above the 283s or get down here below even below the 21,530s. If we can get a move down into these levels or a move up into these levels, I think my strategy would do a lot better. Trading within this choppy zone is it's really, really difficult. A, you can't get any big moves, and B, there's just a lot of fake outs. So Moving to the ES, very similar. There's not much more to add. Again, you've got the daily 20, this purple dotted line sitting above price. You've also got the daily 200 sitting below price, and that makes for a very interesting divergence on the ES. So while we are cautious here, we also need to be careful shorting into this daily 200, in my opinion. And that's also, you know, at some reaction points here that are not charted, but at the 59.80s, you've got a couple of reactions. You've got some reactions around that level here as well in the overnight session over the weekend. No, this was on Friday night, I believe. But anyway, so again, I think if you get a pullback really to up here around the 60.40s, that could set up a nice short. If we do get a move up above Friday's high, that could set up a nice long. And obviously anything here in these areas below the Friday low of day definitely set up some shorts. If we get a move through the daily 200, if the daily 200 breaks on the ES, I do think that we are going to go a lot lower. Daily 200 is sitting right here. If you go to the NASDAQ, the daily 200 is still quite a ways down here at the 21,150s. So if this thing breaks, I think that is a sign that this market, for at least for the near future, is going to see some big sell-off occur. So we shall see. Again, it looks bearish, and we're continuing to see this bearish pattern where we push up, we sell off, we push up, we sell off, we make lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So definitely more bearish trend this morning than bullish, but obviously we have to take what the market gives us. And again, ES is no different than NQ, looking for a bigger move outside of this general range that we've been in for better setups. Dow Jones this morning, as you can see, the only levels I have charted are all the way up here at the 43,000s and all the way down here at the 42,170s. I have nothing in between. The only things that are in between are the highs and lows. Highs and lows from Friday, the overnight high, and also this is the high and the overnight high. The overnight high is here. Sorry, I'm misspeaking there. And the low from Friday. But the big but here is you've got the daily 100 sitting above price. We've got the daily 20 sitting above price. We've got the daily 200 sitting above price. So I would say the only thing we have below price is the daily 50. That's this blue line right here. So the big daily moving averages, the 100, the 20, and the 200, 3 of the 4 daily moving averages are sitting above price in the Dow Jones. And the Dow Jones has probably had the most sweeping downturn look of any of the indices at present. I mean, notice how heavy this has been pushing down. If you do a trend line look, this really looks, this is pretty easy to see. If you even grab maybe some of these lows right in here, look at that trend. I mean, that is really a very much a bearish trend, and that lines up with what we're seeing on some of the other indices as well. The NASDAQ and the ES, obviously. The Dow Jones is a lot more pronounced, and it's a lot cleaner. And the thing that for me stands out a lot is the daily 100 and the daily 20 and the daily 200 all sitting here above price, which is suppressing, in my opinion, is suppressing this market. So definitely looking for shorts. If we get a setup below the Friday low, if we get setups below the 42,160s, definitely looking to short down into some of these areas. If we get down here below on the NASDAQ or on the Dow Jones, we've got some free area all the way down here to the 40,400. So could be a big move there if that should pan out today. So again, or maybe this week, we shall see. The Russell is definitely more flat, as I alluded to earlier. We're still in this range. If you look at this range from the 2148s to the 20,095s, we need to break out of this. If we do break below the 20,994s, if we can break below that, we really have a good shot at a nice little move below, because you have this area of support turn to resistance, turn back to support, and if that flips, we have an excellent break and retest short opportunity there down into the 20,075s and possibly down here into the daily 50. The daily 100 is sitting here below price, the daily 20 is sitting above price, and the daily 200 on the Russell is also sitting above price. Daily 200 is sitting right here above price. So NASDAQ, or I keep saying NASDAQ, the Dow Jones and the Russell have similar moving averages. The daily 20, daily 200 the big one sitting above price, considerably above price, and you've got the daily 20 sitting above price. Now we have the 100 and the 50 here are below on the Russell, but definitely, and that may be why we're seeing some of this chop. Definitely, it is definitely more flat. If you look at this, let's draw a rectangle on here. If we could get a move outside of that, if you can get a move outside of that today on the Russell, look at how much more clean you get. The opportunities are, if you get a break below that box, now you have a break and retest short opportunity here. You have another short opportunity here, or possibly a long back up into this area. But if you get a break above and retest, a break above that, you get a beautiful break and retest long setup up to these highs. So really not interested in much on the NASDAQ or the, I don't know why I can't speak this morning, but it must be Monday and I haven't had enough coffee yet. Definitely looking for something outside of this box. I really almost should, let me just do this. I'm going to move this arrow. I do not even think I'm going to look for shorts on the Russell until we get below this key area of support resistance here around the 2095. So definitely want us to see that first. And if we can see a move down into here, we'll look to take shorts there. So I think the jury, that's pretty much it. The jury's out, still out on this thing, which way it's going to go. But we definitely, like I said at the outset, we need to look for Friday's lows and Friday's highs and breaks of those areas in order to take good setup and good trades. So we may not find too many trades today, and that is completely okay if we do. I think the cleanest one that I'm looking for, really the biggest, probably the easiest to read right now, and this could change as this market opens up in a couple of hours, but the thing I'm really looking for is the Dow Jones is looking extremely bearish. The other markets are looking that way as well, but the Dow Jones is looking extremely bearish, and so we have these big moving averages sitting right above price. A very, very high opportunity for a short setup potentially here, so we'll be looking at that. After that, probably looking at the NASDAQ. If we can get a move in the NASDAQ down below these areas around the 21,700s, that could set up some beautiful shorts as well. Going back to this daily 20, I think I talked on Thursday or Friday about how the NASDAQ has held above this daily 20, and the daily 20 seemed to be holding price up. Notice a flip has occurred. A flip has occurred potentially here. We have a doji candle, bearish candle on Thursday, and we have a candle here. No, this is today. That would be Friday. Friday's candle. And then today, we're looking, it's really looking to me like this is flipping to where the daily 20 is now sitting above price and starting to suppress on the daily chart. And notice how this flip has occurred all this time from April all the way until Friday. This has really has sat above price on the daily 20. And now we have seen this flip occurring. So again, this could be just a little liquidity grab, so to speak, and we could push back out. But we do have to be open to that could be a flip, and now we're pushing to the downside. So very, very interesting as we see that unfolding potentially here on the daily chart on the NASDAQ. So anyway, bears seem to be in play this morning, so we shall see what happens, but that's the game plan for today. On the news front this morning, we do have flash PMI at 9:45, so 15 minutes after market open. We have existing home sales, which is not a red folder, but is a yellow folder event at 10 o'clock. And then tomorrow and Wednesday, we have Fed Chair Powell testifying both at 10 a.m., both days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have final GDP. We have unemployment claims Thursday morning at 8:30 pre-market. And then on Friday, we have core PCE price index at 8:30. So definitely some news events this week. Will it be enough to move this market? We shall see. There's a lot going on with the conflict in the Middle East. All the news we have going on this week, this market being completely trashy. So we shall see. But hey, it's Monday. It's a new week. It's a week of opportunity once again. So let's take advantage of that to the best of our abilities. Wish you the best. Hope you have a great trading day and a good trading week. And today, that is the recap for today's trade plan. So thanks for following along. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day. And until next time, take care and so long.